Witchcraft is not just a practice. It is a current that flows through bloodlines, a legacy woven into the fabric of ancestry. Some witches are born into families where magic is spoken of in whispers, passed down through stories, remedies, and traditions. Others feel the pull of an unnamed force, a resonance in their bones that calls them back to the path, even if no one before them walked it openly. The concept of the witch's blood is both literal and symbolic, an ancestral thread connecting those who practice magic to the wisdom of those who came before. Whether inherited through lineage or awakened through spirit, the blood of the witch carries knowledge, power, and the echoes of a history that has never been fully erased. Ancestral memory is more than just the stories we inherit. It is an imprint, a deep knowing embedded in the very cells of the body. Modern science acknowledges the phenomenon of genetic memory, the way trauma, survival instincts, and even learned behaviors can be passed down through generations. But for the witch, this concept extends beyond biology into the realm of spirit. Those drawn to witchcraft often find themselves inexplicably connected to certain deities, traditions, or magical practices, as if something within them remembers. This is why a witch might feel an affinity for certain herbs, symbols, or rites without ever having been taught them. The blood remembers, even when the mind does not. Lineage magic, the practice of working directly with the spirits of one's ancestors, is a powerful and deeply personal form of witchcraft. Ancestral spirits act as guides, protectors, and keepers of old knowledge, offering wisdom to those who seek their connection. Unlike deities or external spirits, ancestors share a direct bond with the practitioner, their lives and choices influencing the very existence of those who walk the path today. Honoring them through offerings, altars, and communication is not just an act of reverence, it is an act of reclaiming lost magic, of mending the severed threads of history. Many witches discover that their lineage carries a legacy of silence. The burning times, persecution, and suppression of indigenous and folk practices severed many ancestral lines, forcing those who carried the knowledge to hide it or abandon it entirely. Yet, even when words were lost, the essence remained, embedded in rituals disguised as superstition, in remedies passed off as household wisdom, in the intuitive practices of those who never called themselves witches but carried the craft within them, nonetheless. To reconnect with lineage magic is to listen to these echoes, to piece together what was broken, and to reclaim the power that was once feared. However, the power of the witch's blood is not limited to hereditary lineage. Some witches feel the call of magic without any known ancestral connection, yet their pull to the path is undeniable. This is because magic is not solely transmitted through genetics. It is a current, a river that some are born into and others find their way to. Spiritually adopted ancestors, past life connections, or energetic ties to ancient traditions can all create a deep and legitimate bond with the witch's blood. Those who walk the path without a known lineage are not any less witches. They are simply answering a call that transcends physical inheritance. Blood itself is a potent symbol in witchcraft, carrying the essence of life, lineage, and power. It is used in rituals not as a tool of sacrifice, but as a representation of the witch's commitment, their bond with the forces they work with. A single drop of blood in a spell, an oath made in the presence of ancestors, or a ritual acknowledging the power carried in one's veins are all acts of recognition of saying, I know who I am, and I claim my path. The power in the witch's blood is not about privilege or superiority. It is about connection, about understanding that magic is something woven into the fabric of existence, and that those who tap into it are continuing a legacy as old as time. The resurgence of witchcraft in the modern era is, in many ways, a reawakening of this blood memory. Those who feel drawn to the path are not simply engaging in a trend, they are responding to something ancient, something that has called to them across generations. The rise of ancestral work, folk magic, and traditional practices signals a return to the roots of the craft, a reclamation of what was lost or stolen. Witches today are not just practitioners, they are restorers, mending the broken line and bringing old wisdom into the present. To carry the witch's blood is to be a keeper of this legacy, whether inherited or chosen. It is to listen to the whispers of those who came before, to honor the spirits that walk beside us, and to weave the past, present, and future into a single, unbreakable thread. It is not about proving one's lineage, but about recognizing the power that already flows through the soul. The witch's blood is not just in the veins, it is in the spirit, in the calling, in the knowing. It is the fire that refuses to be extinguished, the magic that waits to be remembered, and the legacy that lives on in those who dare to walk the path once more.